So it's April 8th, and the NBA finally has our attention.
Not in the East, but certainly in the West.
No, in the East, it's the final week of the NBA season. There's, nothing cool ever really happens.
No.
But look, that is, there's some good teams in there.
Yeah.
3 through 8.
But just the idea, I mean, it's like, I remember when Denver won their title, and Murray's young, and they had they had some guys around there between Jokic and Murray, and then a nice collection of talent between vets and some young guys. Who's the Kansas kid, the white kid who was a rookie?
Christian Brown.
Yeah, Christian Brown. And they had some nice pieces there, and the idea was, oh my God, look out, here comes the next team, and thanks for coming. Same thing with Giannis in Milwaukee. I mean, are those one-offs? Or, is Denver really capable of doing something? I know Jamal Murray's been hurt.
He's always hurt.
But, this is you have the best player in the NBA, period, end of story, in Jokic. And since winning that title, you've done exactly jackass with him. And then there's some people that are critical. I guess they're saying the Denver ownership, they're not willing to go all in. They're not willing to pay the freight to do what it takes to surround him. And they were happy with the one title. And
is that Kroenke?
Yeah, I think Kroenke does.
Does he still own it?
I think he still owns that. Look that up. Nuggets owner, I believe that is. Yeah, Kroenke Sports and Entertainment. So, it's kind of a weird time right there, because that was always the fear that Giannis would ask out of Milwaukee, and they went and got Dame. That didn't work out. So is it possible that we see in the next year or two, we see Giannis and Jokic both be like, dude, I'm done with this crap. Get me somewhere.
What about Chance to Denver? He's from there.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Chance is going to be on some short lists this offseason, Memphis being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Malone to Portland. A little coach swap.
I would do it. Well, Chauncey doesn't want to be here. He just can't. And if he did want to be here, then why wouldn't they announce at the same time that you extended your GM? Like when Denver did this, right? They just came out and said, hey, Malone, you're gone, and the GM isn't coming back. So you signed Cronin to an extension, but you don't hear anything about Chance. And by the way, you played what? You had a 14-game improvement. If you don't win another game, 14-game improvement from a roster that you didn't think much about. And Chance's reward for that is you get to play on a 1 year. You get to do it again. Screw that. Dude, if you're Chauncey at that point, you're like, dude, give me my extension, or here's the middle finger and get me the hell out of here. Because remember, he didn't sign up for this. When he came on board, this was the Damian Lillard, we're going all in thing. So, yeah, I can't believe that Chauncey's coming back here, or that he wants anything to do with this. And if the swap is getting rid of Chauncey to bring in Mike Malone, sign me up for it.
Yeah, although I think Malone's going to have plenty of options.
And do you really
Portland's
want to
at the bottom of
Portland? I mean,
although I think the one thing about Chance wanting to stay here is I do think he likes and has told people that he likes the young core.
Yeah.
And he thinks they could turn into a Houston Rockets type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that, I mean, when you're in it, you grow attached, so yes, they kind of seem to screw him around a little bit, but I don't think he stays here. I think he's gone. But at the same time, I mean, I think there are reasons why he would want to stay.
Sure. I'm kind of horrified by the way of the future. And not that I don't like Chance. I mean, what he's done has been a great job. You look at the development on some of the guys. I don't know how much credit you give to Chauncey Billups, but they play hard, and this was supposed to be a bad team.
Don't you think a lot of credit
goes
to him?
Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be one of the worst teams in the NBA, and they were not one of the worst teams in the NBA, and
their
they
win
played
total
hard.
was 6 lower than it was a year ago, and then they outperformed last year by 14, as you said. That's like a 20-game swing.
I mean, it's not like all of a sudden they have all these players that we didn't know they had.
Yeah, it's
the same group, and they're winning.
He got more out of them.
Yeah, exactly. He got more out of them. It's the best way to say it.
I'm just terrified. This is
not that they're that great.
But. No, and this is why this is my ultimate dread, right? For years, we went through the Damian Lillard stretch. Or like after Roy and Aldridge, we went through the, great, 6th and 8th seed and first round exits, and we're not doing jack crap. And that was when we had legitimate all-stars. You had LaMarcus and you had Damian Lillard. And you had the one conference finals run, and then that was it. Other than that, you were just stuck in purgatory. And so then you move on from that and you say, no more. Like, we're not doing that. We're tearing it down. But you didn't really tear it down. You just got worse. And now you're building it up with the same kind of mediocre. Mediocre is not the right word. Just average guys, like just no star, no one that like blows your hair back, and no star. And now you're going to end up with the 10th pick, which probably isn't going to do much for you. I don't know where you go out in the open market. What do you get for Anthony Simons? What do you get for Jeremy Grant? What do you get for Robert Williams? I can't imagine that that's a massive return. And so are we just rebuilding the same thing that we've had for the last 15 years, but instead of rebuilding around LaMarcus, a great power forward, and Dame, one of the best 75 players of all time, we're now rebuilding around Denny Avia and Kamara and Scoot Henderson? Am I the only one that is absolutely terrified that Chauncey is going to come back, again, improve by 5 or 6 games, be a play-in team, and then just rinse and repeat, and we're back into another 7-year stretch where you never really get any better, and you're just...
What would give you that thought?
It's terrifying. Like,
I mean...
It just makes no sense.
Well, it makes all the sense.
But you tore it down to rebuild the same thing, but with worse players.
Well, they don't...
We've got to bifurcate those.
They're not trying to get worse players. They just have a bad GM.
So
who they just re-upped. How does this not make sense to you? The organization is bad. This is what bad organizations look like. You guys got to come to grips with this. You just do.
I'm struggling with it right now.
And I get that.
Because next year, if everyone keeps getting better, that this is potentially a play-in team next year, and then everyone's like, oh, play-in, and then you get drilled in the...
Do we need to go through the teams in the West or even the teams in the East that have jumped past Portland in the last 5 to 10 years? Do we even need to go through them?
No, we don't. It's just going to depress me more.
Denver used to be a joke.
Yeah.
The Clippers were a joke.
Yeah.
Who else? The Rockets, the Thunder, the Timberwolves, basically the whole West, with the exception of...
Hey, Phoenix is going to get worse.
San Antonio's decline. Well, they got Wemby.
San Antonio with Fox and Wemby, they're going to jump the Blazers next
Utah.
year. Yeah, watch Utah is going to get Cooper
But now
flagged.
They're going to get flagged because they actually have smart management.
And then they'll decide to not suck and they'll jump us.
I think the one team that you can look at and laugh and point
New Orleans
is New Orleans.
And Phoenix. Phoenix sucks.
Yeah, but they rose up. Did they make... How far did they get?
Well, that was the one where Kevin Durant was a...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
How far did they get?
But they suck. They're gonna be terrible.
But I'm just saying they rose. They were a joke and rose all the way past Portland, and now they're back to being kind of a joke. But and then Dallas is another one.
Yeah.
Rose right by you. I mean, like, it's just every team has passed you, and yet you still sit here and think. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, generally speaking, you sit here and think that there's somehow hope with Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot Henderson.
That's my point. Is I'm scared that you're rebuilding.
Wake up.
The same group with solid to decent players, but no Damian Lillard, and that depresses me because we all sat there and we're like, well, this is unacceptable, and now we're just rebuilding. And I don't see an avenue to get.
Well, the Cavs got. Should we go to the East?
Yeah,
Cavs, Knicks, Pacers, Bucks.
I just don't know where is the avenue
Magic.
to get a player that is anywhere near Dame or multiple players that are better than what you had that got you nowhere.
You have to draft well, and you have to tank well, and they have done neither.
And the tank is over. They've told
I know,
you that they're not.
But it's been 4 years of this.
Yeah.
They have had the opportunity to get really bad draft picks. Yeah. They have gotten, really good draft picks.
3 top 10 picks.
They have gotten picks, and they haven't done anything with them.
Well, and I guess the long-term answer to this is you had 3 top 10 picks in a row, and those picks are Shaedon, Scoot, and Klingon. So, I mean, I guess you're sitting around and saying, does Klingon, Sharpe, and Scoot turn into something that's better than what you had when Dame was here? And
Magic Johnson.
As of right now, I don't know how you can say that in any way that looks probable. But
it's just a bad franchise, man.
Maybe I'm wrong.
It's too bad because it hasn't always been.
Yeah.
It's just this new owner.
It's weird.
Paul Allen.
We're entering into weird territory.
Rest in peace. Well, hopefully she sells within the next, 5 years maybe? Do you think?
Whenever I'm assuming that once the NBA gives the expansion teams and everyone gets $400 million in expansion fees, I'm guessing that's probably when they sell.
Well, I know, but that's probably supposed to be within the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Well, maybe she'll sell it.
Well, she has to. So.
She does, but there's no deadline on that.
No, timely fashion, whatever the hell that means.
This isn't very timely.
No, it's just the idea that everyone's the general consensus is until it expands and that money is coming your way, they're not going to sell. And prices just keep going up and up and up. So
And it's not that a new owner would be better. It could be worse. That's the danger of selling.
yeah, you never know.
You really don't ever know.
No,
But
you would hope
you want some fresh
Yeah.
blood or maybe just some passion.
with some. Well, I want someone with skin in the game.
Yeah. Like this. Okay. A good example is like this Phoenix owner.
Mhm.
Like this guy. I mean, come
Seems
on.
a douche, but he cares.
Well, but his team sucks. And
Yeah.
like they went out and spent all this money and it didn't work.
And they've mortgaged their entire future.
Yes.
They have no more
They have
picks.
nothing.
They have no cap
Right.
room. And
Right.
and he's got all the ambition and all the passion, but like this has been a flop, a huge one.
It has been, but I would rather have that than Jody.
Agreed.
This is my. Would you rather, like you have to get married, right? Would you rather?
A
would you-
dude? Oh.
Well, it's like
What?
you're entering into maybe the marriage isn't a good one. You're entering into a business partnership, right? You're going in, you're like, hey, I'm entering a business partnership with you and we're 50-50. Would you rather have someone that is passionate that you know wants to be in that business for 15 to 20 years and is like, hey man, we're in this together? Or do you want to be in business with someone that you know has to sell the business in 3 to 5 years and really doesn't have any incentive for your business to be very good? Why would you? So for whatever Ishbia's faults are, sign me up for that a million times over rather than someone that's like, whatever.
I know.
Dude, she's gonna get her 4.5 or 5 billion either way. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
There's no incentive.
The owners that want to win, that really care, like the Cubes,
Yes.
the Paul Allens,
That's
even
all
though
I
Paul
want.
never won one,
But that's all I want.
that's really all you can ask. That
Yes.
and deep pockets. And Paul had both.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Well, he built the damn marina because without him, we don't have a team.
well, and it's a shame he never won one.
And that goes back to the other thing is hopefully the next person that come here is willing to put in money to revamp the arena
Yeah.
because what if we go down that road again?
Yeah, that's a whole thing too.
You
Because
know?
their arena is not great.
I think it's one of the oldest, if not the oldest in the NBA. And I don't know if you know about the people of Portland, but chances are we're not footing the bill for that thing.
Yeah, when you go to a game now, it feels tired in there.
Yes.
It hasn't always.
No.
But in the last couple of years, it's
Yeah.
gotten real. It's like,
And by the way, it's not the oldest because the Madison Square Garden, but
it's just it's drab.
it's
It's not a draw.
No.
And nothing around it is a draw. It's a mess.
We're 7th, by the way,
It's a mess.
behind the Bulls, the Cavs,
What?
Suns, Jazz, Timberwolves, and Knickerbockers.